Good evening, everyone. Thank you for taking the time to stop in today and check out the Duchess of Unicorn YouTube channel. And today, as you know, we're going to just peek at our browser. I am in the United States, and I don't know where you are. If you'd like to leave a comment and just let us know where you are in the world, that would be great. I'm curious to know. And my channel is for entertainment, and I want to say this not only because that it's a disclaimer to all of us who do these type of things, but first and foremost, really I want it to be stressed that it is entertainment. It is gossip based. It is perusing the internet, looking at other information that is put out by the news and other outlets, and it is gossip. It is hearsay. It is people's opinions. And certainly I'm drawing my own from all of that. So this channel is for fun. And yet it has a little bit of news. It's a little research. It's a lot of fun. And it's a little bit of my thoughts sharing and gossip on the situation with the royals. So, and it's not just the royals. I'd like to kind of a little bit pinpoint mainly on Meghan Markle and Harry's involvement with the royals. So, today we're back to merching. Now, whether it's intentional, which we know most celebrities, even though they have the right and the reason to pick out their own jewelry and pick out their clothes and enjoy the things that they enjoy, everything's for a reason. There's never really a hair out of place. I wouldn't say never, but there's often, it's all a stylist and someone else who's planning what you're wearing, where you're going, and how you're presenting yourself. And it is evident that we are back to merching. So Meghan Markle's whale tail necklace from her first charity visit in Canada has symbolic meaning. During Meghan Markle's first philanthropic outing in Canada, she accessorized a casual look with a new gold and diamond pendant gifted to her by a local jeweler. Gifted. Terminology is changing. Visiting the charitable organization Justice for Girls on Tuesday, Meghan was spotted wearing an unusual whale tail pendant, now identified as being from a local Vancouver jeweler, Holly Bartlett. According to the Douglas Reynolds Gallery, which stocks several pieces from Bartlett's collection, the 18-karat yellow gold whale tail pendant, say that 4 times fast, which retails for $1,696, was a gift from Bartlett, who personally chose it from the Vancouver-based gallery, which specializes in historic and contemporary native art. So, however, the wording is, the terminology is, it's still merching. But they have found a way, they meaning the establishment behind Meghan, to use new wording like gifted. Really simple, just a little tweak. And it becomes a whole new thing. Now that, when you use gifted, kind of puts a kind of bubble around it. We don't know if there was an exchange of any kind of favoritism, meaning, in what I'm trying to say is, we don't know if there was a check cut for your organization. We don't know if that necklace will be on the market and sold at some point to benefit the organization. I doubt it, because it's only $1,600, but it's not like it's $69,000. We don't want to give the opinion that Meghan is now, street. She's not like at the pawn shop or anything. But what we want to look at is how everything is just being tweaked, like as if everything that Meghan went through last year and the year before is now being updated, and it's 5.7. It's the new version. And so, although this video won't be very long, I wanted to share that with you. And I think this is going to be even more fun, more interesting than last year. But I feel like the Meghan that I have witnessed in the past during research and reading and looking at old photos of her when she was acting and even before acting, and when she had the blog The Tig, which I do believe you'll see resurface. I feel like we're going to see the real Meghan, the Meghan that Meghan wants us to see, the Meghan that she feels that she is, not the Meghan that has been developing through all the obstacles in the royal family, not the Meghan that the news reports, not the Meghan that we're all forming, opinions on. We're going to see a twist and a tweak of how she appears. I'm not saying it's going to be right, wrong, or indifferent. I'm just saying that this is my opinion, that what we're going to see is her showing herself, who she is. I think she did get tired of all the strict rules, and I think it's not her being a California person, a California girl, Sunshine State. I don't feel that that's what she's made of. And honestly, again, I think that she and Harry and the Queen all should have been on the same page in terms of her not being a good fit, like a square peg in a round hole. Not that she's bad or good, that she has not been able to fit in that mold. And if you can't fit, you must acquit. And before I put this video to bed, Doria Ragland says, daughter Meghan Markle will always be okay. Let's click on it for fun. Now that we see Meghan going to come back slowly as herself, she's literally reeling herself in out of all the confusion and noise that she created, and also that was created because she entered a place that did not accept her. So Doria Ragland says, daughter Meghan Markle will always be okay, source says. As Meghan Markle embarks on her next chapter with Prince Harry, I don't personally believe Prince Harry is really going to embark in anything but divorce proceedings in the law, like separation, and then maybe, after a long separation or a fair separation, leading to maybe divorce. This is my thoughts. I feel that they're going to dangle on, and I think that Meghan is going to decide when she wants to exit, and she'll exit. And she'll do just like she did with leaving the UK. She will say enough is enough, and that's all I can take, and I'm out. And I think that whoever's going to be up behind her picking pieces, putting things together, and starting proceedings, I believe, and talks to say maybe it was Prince Harry because, he just thought it was best, or maybe she'll make it look like she has decided to move on, and he's like, okay, what can I do? And he'll give that speech that's like, it's unfortunate, and sometimes these things happen, and I wish her the best, and I love her, and, we'll still be a family for our son, and all that. And I think Meghan will cruise over into a huge sunset and go back to her acting career, and she'll even have maybe more than just acting to do. I just don't understand why someone would want to be an actor after being... It just seems like so wacky. But if you had a contract to get married and do all these theatrics. Maybe this was just the world stage and you were acting anyway, so you never really left acting. You never really thought of yourself as a royal, because in your heart of hearts, you might have realized that your main job or thought was just the acting. The main reason or mission, whatever word you want to insert there, was just temporary, and you had your eye on the ball, the exit, the entire time. However, maybe you enjoyed a few things along the way, but then it got too serious. And when it got too serious, Meghan, perhaps, in my opinion, was smart enough to say, adios. So Raglan, who lives in Los Angeles, spent the holidays with her daughter. Sure she did. Son-in-law and grandson Archie. I don't know. In Vancouver in the weeks leading up to the couple's announcement that they were stepping down as senior royals. Again, no one anywhere, any private person, any public news person, and nobody. This is a huge zero. There is no one that saw and took photos of, for receipts and proof that Meghan is here. Look at her running into the building with her mother. Here's Prince Harry and Meghan slipping into, the house. Here they are in an aerial view looking down. Look, I see them from, 400 yards away or 1,000 yards away or on the boat. They're not in the water checking out their house and seeing them sitting in the window having coffee in the morning. Nobody saw Meghan and Harry and Doria walking dogs. Nobody saw Doria Raglan going to the airport. There is no receipts anywhere. So when they say, oh, yes, they all spent holidays, it is amazing how dumb these people think other people who are not royals or not immediately involved in their lives think that they are, and also that they don't care what we think. But it's clear that out of thousands and thousands of people, hundreds of thousands of people, not one photograph of Meghan, Harry, Archie going into a building together, separately, at the same time, one after the other. The dogs, the baby, Doria flying over, Meghan coming out, nothing. So I don't believe it. They'd have to be in underground tunnels. Maybe they were. After splitting their time between Canada and the UK, the first-time grandmother says Meghan is strong and will always be okay. A source occasionally crosses paths with Raglan tells People in this week's cover. It's a cover of an entertainment magazine. It is not a news reporting, journalistic based thing. It's nearly a gossip rag. And I remember when, I don't know, maybe when I was a kid, everybody thought gossip rags were like the Inquirer and all these paper-like magazines made to look like news magazines, newspapers, but they were magazines like the Inquirer, and I forgot some other ones. And they were like stuff you'd read for gossip, for fun, because you were like, wow, this person is like this when they're not in front of the television or on an acting gig, or this is how they eat, this is how they do, this is how they behave, their divorces. It always played out in these gossip tabloid newspaper-like magazines. And now, of course, everything's got a nice, shiny, glossy cover, most of it, like it's a magazine. So it tells me a lot that you're just another gossip magazine, and that's okay. And so it's also okay if people go on YouTube and create gossip, fun, entertainment channels that are mixing a little gossip, a little news, and a lot of opinion. And it isn't harmful. It's all in the name of fun and entertainment. And that's what my channel is. And so today, I'd like to end this video with this little oops. Royal website says Meghan Markle and Prince Harry still live at the palace and omits Archie from Meghan's bio. That is so interesting. I almost want to leave you with that, just so that that could be the last thing that you can kind of wrap your head around. And of course, you'll be able to go and look that stuff up yourself. But let's go ahead, just for fun, and scroll down. It looks like the royal family's official website needs updating. Yay! While there are already some changes being made to Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's new website, which I don't know why that trumps all the other stuff, but yes, if you weren't going to be a royal anymore, or you were stepping outside of the royal arena, I could see that a private website would make sense, like you were a business or an entertainment entity, which they launched as they announced their desire to step back from the royal senior roles. They are not alone in making a few mistakes and omissions. The couple's 8-month-old son, Archie, is not mentioned in the official profile. This is where it gets good, people. This is where it is so much, I almost want to laugh. It's so funny because everything is telling us that this child, well, in my opinion, I feel like it's telling people that kid is not really of royal blood. Maybe by name, by association, but I don't know. Show receipts, people. This is in question too, isn't it? That's in question too. I mean, this child has disappeared, and prior to disappearing, they have shown us a handful of sepia photos with, Photoshop this or this and this has changed and altered, and people are coming up with receipts to analyze and show that. And Meghan nor Harry are addressing it, but surely they are seeing it, because again, when you have PR firms and all that, it's their job to look at this stuff and spin or help spin situations. And now we're not sure that Sunshine Sachs is representing Meghan anymore, because you know how it is when you get involved with Meghan, at least under her royal self. Now, her royal self may be not the self that she's going to step forward with. And if she comes out of that royal umbrella and steps into, say, the real world, she will be that actress personality that we know, only because it's been fed to us, that she was on when she was on Suits. So she'll be more like her authentic self. And I've often said that. We'll see her maybe go back to the Tig. She clearly is reversing her steps as we speak. So this child is MIA, and Meghan is coming back to doing her usual just when she was engaged, that type of stuff, and prior to when she was engaged, yet she still has the title. So it's kind of confusing for us to look at these things objectively, because she is appearing to be her normal everyday, rewinding back to her acting days when she was Meghan Markle, period. And yet she still has this title and security and all this stuff. And we're thinking, why the security? Why the title? Ain't nobody searching for you. There's nobody, looking for her in that sense. Yes, maybe Prince Harry, because he's an official real prince, but her being a Sussex, a duchess through marriage is kind of like, as soon as you take that title away, you're just who you are again. It's that simple. There'll be reports and people who may want to talk to her about her experiences as such, but to the real world, when you take that title away, she will be the same person, and maybe not in experiences, but in our eyes, she will still be Meghan Markle, period. And for some people who didn't like her, accept her, she still was Meghan Markle anyway. So we still have yet to say, where's that boy that they're claiming is the, next in line in the royal lineage, of, becoming a king, even though he's so still distant from it. The Duchess of Sussex on the royal family's webpage. Her profile also incorrectly states that Meghan and Harry reside at Kensington Palace. I think I've heard this before, though. But the couple left their Nottingham Cottage home on the grounds of Kensington Palace in 2019. Oh, I'm confused because 2019 I thought it was all about Frogmore and they were already living there. More crossed paths with information. Just before Archie was born, the UK-based is Frogmore Cottage in Windsor, which they moved into in April. So that was not worth reading, but I thought it was kind of cute. And I think I will leave it at that because I did read another article that I thought was hilarious. Like the first thing I saw in my mind's eye when I read this little article, and I hope I can find it for the next video, was that it was referring to something Meghan was wearing that just made me laugh inside, and I just pictured it in my head, and I thought, yep, this woman is done. D-O-N-E, done by UK. See ya, and hello to Canada, and then right back to the United States. And I'm sure there's a ton of other places she'll travel, but I think that she is gearing to come back to her her earthy self, her original and more authentic self, and that will lead her back between Canada, United States, and I think much, much less than at the UK. Something big went down, and it is only a matter of time before it cracks wide open like a little tiny chicken egg. All right. Thank you for visiting and watching. I really do appreciate it. I'm new. I'm just sharing on YouTube about one of my, favorite little topics is the royals. It's a guilty pleasure, and I really appreciate you joining with me, and I hope it made sense. And if you have any comments or things that you want to say, please put them in the comments. I read them. I'm new. There's not a long list in the comments. Make that happen for me. I'd appreciate it. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.